Welcome, FNews57 here. Once again, I'm back on the Xbox Series X. Today we're playing some Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and I will be bringing you a detailed tutorial and achievement guide. The achievement is going to be Bye Dark Aether. It's a rare 30 gamer score achievement for helping the lost scientist complete his experiment. The tutorial is going to be for completing the Easter egg for the map Liberty Falls. You can do this solo, or you can do this with a team. I'll be doing it with a team, so huge shout out to my friends Yoshi and Dragon, also known as Terra and Rock if you're familiar with Stream. I will leave a link in the description to Terra's channel if you want to check out his point of view as well. And before we go in, we are going to get a couple of things right off the bat. First of all, if you just want to play with the people in your squad, make sure you turn squad fill off. We'll be in Liberty Falls here, and by getting this done before Season 1 is active, we will be earning a exclusive calling card that once Season 1 is active and the guide's available, you will not be able to earn. So get this done quickly. Now, with that being said, 2 tips I recommend highly. First of all, gunsmith, whatever weapon you're using, suppressor. You want a suppressor because if you didn't know this already, having a suppressor increases the chance of getting salvage. Secondly, there is going to be a point that you will either need to be of level 20 or higher. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait till round 11 to do one step of the Easter egg. Personal preference, what you want to do, just want to throw that out there. Decoys will be semi-useful, but you do want one person, ideally, to bring in a very hard-hitting weapon, like the pump-action shotgun. The rest of that is personal preference. Augments, I do recommend having Juggernog upgraded with probiotic and hardened plates. If at all possible, the rest is entirely personal preference. Whatever you have that will make it easier on you, and you'll be good to go. Now, you will need, if you are playing with a team, to share points so that you can get this done as fast as possible. I'll meet you in the game. Now remember, whether you're doing this with a team or you're doing this solo, it's going to be personal preference. The main thing, though, is if you're playing with a team, you're going to want to share points. So the best way to do that is to make sure that 2 players are using relatively weak weapons, and just go ahead and put a bullet on each zombie. Coordinate this ahead of time to make sure that every player is getting 1 hit on each zombie, and then you know ahead of time who is actually going to get the final hit and kill said zombie. The reason for doing this is because the player that gets the kill will get the zombie bucks or money, cash, whatever you want to call it, essence, that is awarded for the zombie kill. Whoever does any damage to the zombie will also receive the base kill reward of 90. And if you come up here, where we'll be coming later, and open this door, you get about a good 8 or 9 zombies in here. So the way we have this set up, I've got a bullet on each zombie, Rock has a bullet on each zombie, and Terra will be the one getting the final kill. Everybody has their own individual salvage drops, and that's why it's recommended everybody does have a suppressor on. We got a couple zombies left. Ideally, you want a crit kill, which is 115, or a melee kill, which is 105. And you can press and hold down on the D-pad to switch, or not down on the D-pad, sorry. Press and hold down on your thumbstick, right thumbstick if you're on controller, to switch to your knife, dedicated melee. At which point, once you have this set up, I think going to the right is better. I bought half the door, and then you'll have one of your other players buy half the door. And then we're going to be going straight up to the right. You can do this as fast or as slow as you want to. You don't have to do it this way. It's entirely personal preference. I just think getting out of this back alley as quick as possible is a good idea. And hopefully you don't get the insta-kill. So the very first thing that we're going to need to do for the Easter egg is to actually make the jet gun. Your first step is going to be right here, this nice little hose spigot, and you can use the interact button, so on Xbox, the X button, to go ahead and pick that up, even though it is not actually giving you the prompt to pick it up. And then if you open the leaderboard screen, you'll see that under Jet Gun, we have the valve. So once again, same process now that we're on Wave 2. Have every player get a hit on each of the zombies, and then have your designated killer get the actual kill on the zombies. This way you share points as much as possible. It can be difficult. It's not absolutely 100% essential that you do that. It's just easier. So now we have the church basically unlocked. And what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to stay up here. We're actually ahead of schedule right there. We got our groundskeeper, and before he ran away, I did shoot him in the face. He spawned early. He shouldn't have spawned that early, but those last kills must have counted. So we'll need to pick up the tool shed key.
Church groundskeeper, good guy.
More than likely, that's not going to happen for you guys. It takes about 30 kills up here in the graveyard in order to spawn the groundskeeper. Very surprised that we got the groundskeeper that early, because technically he should not have spawned. But once you have the key, you're going to come back here. Sometimes there's a zombie there. And then you can, again, use the interact button to interact on the door, open it up, and there is the grip, or the handbrake piece that we need for the jet gun. So again, pulling up the leaderboard, we have 2 of 3 pieces. And now we're going to have a little bit of a pause. So normally when you get up here, you need to get 30 kills in the graveyard. I guess those kills right here at the door was close enough to the graveyard. So, hey, why not, right? Free points, get things a little bit ahead of time. We have 2 doors that we are going to need to buy. We're going to need to go down towards the bowling alley. And we are also going to need to unlock the Pack-a-Punch. Doesn't really matter the order that you do these in. Arguably, if you're on a later round, it is best to do the Pack-a-Punch door first. But if you're not on a later round, then you can make your way right over to the bowling alley. And I've paid half at this door. We just need another 1,000 to open it. Try to keep a couple zombies alive. We're going to go in very early here. Again, you don't have to micromanage this as much as we are. It's personal preference entirely. You can get your safe code pieces if you want. You're going to come over here, and then you can either shoot or melee that. Go ahead and add the valve. And now this is going to spawn a bunch of zombies. So we're going to go ahead and just hold it down. And ideally you want a decoy or a monkey or just another player to train the zombies, because if you leave this valve unattended, what's going to happen is it's going to start losing pressure over time. It is entirely possible for this to switch, so I'm going to come off of it, toss my decoy, and then I'm going to go right back into holding the valve. Get the good old knuckle cracks in. Obviously, this is a lot harder to do solo. If you're solo, decoys or ideally a sentry gun, the odds of going down are high. Multiple decoys works better. Obviously, it is not an ideal situation right now. But that valve is almost finished. And all you need is one person to survive till that valve finishes. Luckily, we didn't lose much progress there. Once the valve finishes, it's going to light all the zombies on fire that are in here, and you'll be able to grab the water pressure switch. I might have picked that up just a hair too quickly there. Wasn't trying to. It had too much salvage in the way. But if you look, you now have, instead of the valve, you now have the water pressure switch. Alright, so this is where the waiting game comes in, folks. Just keep in mind, you have 4 options, technically, to do this. If you're above level 20, you can go ahead and craft, if you get 1200 salvage, the Mangler's arm cannon. If you are even higher level, you can craft the injector. Both of those will work. Or you can wait till wave 11, where you will get a guaranteed spawn Mangler. At the end of the day, personal preference. Whatever you want to do is entirely up to you. Since everybody has their own salvage, it is possible to do this early on, and honestly, the earlier the better. But a force spawn Mangler does work. So I've got a hit on all those zombies, and I'm just going to go down here and show you what you need to do so that you're already aware of it. But unfortunately, we are at a bit of a waiting point, so getting a pack-a-punched weapon would be a very good idea. But we are going to need to get into this radio store. And if you have the generic Mangler from wave 11, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to get him in the road, have him charge up his cannon at you while you're standing in front of this door, and then you're going to need to dodge so that the cannon shot hits the grate there, that security grate, instead of hitting you. Otherwise, it won't open. So once one player has 1250 salvage, then if that is before wave 11, you'll just have them come over to one of the crafting tables, and the item that they need to craft is this item right here, the Mangler cannon. That's available after level 20. If you have 2500 salvage, you could also get the mutant injector, but obviously, why would you do that?
Salvage available on my way.
Once you have a player that has the mutant injector or the Mangler arm cannon, then you can make your way back down to the radio store like I was showing you earlier. Just have them use that item and then shoot the security gate. Obviously, if you're doing it during the middle of a wave, things might get a little bit more hectic.
No time for that stealthy shit. I'm bringing the thunder.
So, have that player defend, and once you get in here, what you're going to need to do is search these salvage piles, these little like trash piles on the ground. It's random, but one of them will have the electrical wires in it. So, once you find them, have somebody pick them up. You'll see it on your map, like your leaderboard, whatever you want to call it, that you have all 3 of them. And you're going to have to go back to the hotel at this point. Now, if you didn't open this door earlier in the beginning for those extra zombies, then obviously when you get up here, the door will burst open and you'll have a bunch of extra zombies to deal with. When you come in here, you'll notice a workbench that already has this very conveniently built small, jet engine on it. And then anybody can just go ahead and craft it. That gives you the Thrusterdyne M23, let's just call it the jet gun for ease of video, and anybody can pick it up. I'm going to go ahead and take it so that we can do our next step here, which is going to require us to go back to the church. And at this point, we will have to have the door open to get into the Pack-a-Punch room.
There's literally nothing happening between your ears.
Alright, so basically, when you get in here and you open up the Pack-a-Punch room, you're going to be able to press X on this machine or interact with it, and you're going to get a ghost dialogue. If you have multiple players, have one player train the zombies while the other player with the jet gun is doing this. You have 2 firing modes, and ammo recharges over time for this. So the right trigger allows you to suck stuff up with it, and the left trigger just creates a shockwave detonation, but it uses all the ammo. You'll notice these little like top hat gear looking items. One is floating right up there. You'll use the right trigger to go ahead and suck that one up. It only uses about 25 ammo, so it's really not that hard. And then we're going to need to get 2 more pieces. So follow me up to this roof, and we'll take a nice jump over here onto this little box truck. And then you'll notice that if you look across the street, Buzz's Cuts, there is another one of those little rotary top hat looking things that you'll need to suck up. Now this one does take a little bit more ammo to do. It takes about 50 ammo. And just verify that you do have both of those.
Manos, you got any?
For our last piece, though, we have to go into this comic book shop. And anyone that says that you have to do the side Easter egg is smoking something, because you don't have to do the side Easter egg. You literally just have to look up at the ceiling tile that's missing and then suck up that part. You'll notice you have all 3 of the LTG parts, at which case you need to get up on top of the main bank building. And you don't have to buy the zip line directly to my left. There's a zip line that you can buy if you want to, but you don't have to buy that. You can simply go up here to the graveyard, and then only one person at a time can take the zip line. But once one person gets off or gets close enough to the end, you can go ahead and take the zip line, make a left, come over here, and you'll find yourself a workbench that has all of the parts that we magically sucked up on there. At which point, any player can go ahead and assemble the device, and any player on the team can then pick up the finished LTG. So this is going to be where things get a little bit nuts. We already have the LTG on Wave 7. It is entirely up to your team what you wish to do. If you're comfortable, and I stress this is a big if you are comfortable defending this with your current weapons and current rarity upgrades, you can just very easily take the zip line over and be back in the starting area, and we can go ahead and get this done. If you are not comfortable defending this with your current weapons, then I would suggest playing out a round or two till you have enough to pack a punch. Entirely personal preference, but I guess we're going to go for it right now. There we go. And we're going to set this down, and now we are forced to defend this for an entire minute, which seems like an eternity. To be honest, really strong weapons like the shotgun, the energy mine turret, or pack-a-punched weapons is ideal.
Protect that gear, Alpha Team. Give it the time it needs.
Decoys don't do much of anything on this. It will force spawn a Mangler or possibly a Mega. If you fail, it's honestly not a big deal. You just can only do it once per level, or once per wave. So finish out the wave if you fail, and then, like I mentioned earlier, I really recommend it being pack-a-punched. So we're going to come back to this after we've pack-a-punched. So here we're back, literally one wave later. Just interact with it. I've upgraded the rarity of my gun. I got blue pack 1. So we're actually going to be able to do something here. Again, the shotgun is really ideal for this. I don't have the most ideal weapon. Oh. There will be a Mega or a Mangler that spawns. And this one dropped a Mutant Injector. That one you can kill. Once we complete this, though, there is going to be a HVT target that you cannot kill. Otherwise, you're going to have to start all over again. So just defend it. As soon as this gateway portal stabilizes, there we go. It could be a Mangler, it could be a Mega. What you're going to want to do is drag him over to the spawn while you have a player go and get the canister. You can weaken him, and honestly the HVT is pretty damn strong, so it's fairly hard to completely kill him. But say you were in a chopper gunner or you used like a Hellfire missile, it is entirely possible to kill him. If you have multiple players on your team, you can have one of them run escort, but you don't actually have to have them run escort. You're going to come back in here, and you'll notice a canister sticking out. You can jockey around a little bit, and then you're going to press and hold whatever your interact button is to go ahead and pick up that canister. Now, once you pick up the canister, the player that's holding it is going to no longer be able to slide or sprint. So you're going to be a slow creature. And you're just going to have to make your way all the way back down to spawn. If you've started a fresh wave like we have here, you're going to want to eliminate most of the zombies till you only have 1 or 2 left. I did not forget the ether canister game. And you're just going to take this canister all the way to the spawn. Ideally, you want one player to go ahead and keep a zombie somewhere away from here. You're going to get to this little emitter, and then you're just going to drop the canister next to the emitter. At which point, have one player take a zombie or 2 anywhere that is not anywhere near this spawn area or that trap. So we're just going to clear out a couple of these. It's going to be Rock's job to hold on to a zombie. Rock, you have a zombie on you. Alright, Rock's got the zombies. So now what we need to do is we need to damage this old HVT. Again, depending on how early and how upgraded you are, this may be a easier said than done task. But we need to almost kill this guy. And if you're unlucky enough to go ahead and get the Mangler that's like ridiculously armored in the beginning, it's going to take a lot just to break this dude's armor unless you happen to have Deadshot Daiquiri. So go ahead and just keep unloading on this guy until you kill him. Well, no, sorry, not kill him. I lied. Just kidding. Actually, no. You'll feel like you're going to kill him, but you need to just take his health down to about 30%. It's easiest if you blow off his helmet, and then you can at least land your crits. But this guy is super tanky. Like I said, it's pretty hard to inadvertently kill this guy. It is plausible, but it's difficult to do. I don't have any ammo left, but he should be just about... There we go. He's glowing. There is ammo here if you're willing to pay 1,000 for it. So what you do is you walk over there, you activate the trap, and now you bring all dark and broody over within range of the trap. He'll drop a max ammo, which we definitely needed, and then you have one player pick up the canister. I have no bullets, so this is going to be interesting. Once you pick up the canister, you have 1 minute and 30 seconds. And again, the person holding the canister cannot sprint, they cannot slide. So if you're doing this solo, have fun. If you're doing this in a team, it's best if somebody escorts you. But it's not really 100% essential. We're going to go ahead and go all the way up to the church. Nice, slow, leisurely walk. And then put this canister in the machine that we took the canister from earlier. 1 minute and 30 seconds, honestly, is more than enough time. I mean, we used basically a minute to get up here to the machine. Just press and hold X on it, and there you go. Now, this little tray is going to open up, and you're going to see the Strauss counter. Basically, it's a glorified, detector. So, pick that up. It'll replace your tactical, unfortunately. And now we're going to need to go ahead and go to 3 different spots in order to get this next setup. So the first spot, I'm going to do these in a slightly different order than what a lot of folks will tell you. Because, well, I like to go to the one that's closest. The first one is going to be right here, just on this hillscape. And if you hold out the detector, it's going to have a color on it. So you can see this one's E field is high in the red, which means that what we have to do is interact with this scanner, and if our handheld scanner shows red, then the light on top needs to be green. If our handheld scanner shows yellow, it needs to be yellow on the projector. And if our handheld scanner shows green, it needs to be red on the projector. So this one is going to be green. And then we're going to go back pretty much the way that we came. Hook around this little groundskeeper's house here. And this is going to be our second projector. Once again, we'll pull out our handheld detector. This is also red, so this one will be green as well. Now remember, these do change each game, so unfortunately you can't just copy the colors that I'm showing you. You actually have to use the detector. Next up is going to be to take the free zip line all the way on top of the bank building. And then you will need to spend a little bit of essence. Come on, let me actually... There we go. We have to glide this board and blow it up, which allows us to drop down onto the Yummy Freeze rooftop where you'll find your third projector. This one in this game is green, which means we are going to have to set the light to red. Once you have set all three projectors to the correct color, there will be a slight little audio buzzing, and you'll notice that the projectile will switch and start moving, and then there's a purple beam that comes out of it. So all three purple beams are going to sync up back here in the spawn, which is going to be on this little device that we already were at in the beginning. And this is going to magically puff out a canister that we can pick up. And then we're going to need to take this canister to our next trap point. And once again, only one player needs to do this, but the player doing it will not be able to sprint or slide or any fun shenanigans. This is the last that you actually need that detector, so you can go ahead and drop the detector if you want to. Anything else that you want to do in the game, perk-wise or whatnot, feel free to do. But we're going to go ahead and get this canister into position. You can do it on either trap location up there or down here. I think this one's a little bit easier, so just get close to it, drop it on the ground. Next up, we need to go back to the Aether Storm and pick up our item that we had to defend. And we're going to have a second defense. So just go back down here. You can pick it up by interacting with it. And then run all the way up to the graveyard. That's going to be our next Aether Storm that we need to collect. We will need to defend it. Your choice on how you wish to defend it. It doesn't really matter. It's entirely personal preference. I do have a chopper gunner. I got very lucky from that mangler drop. So I'm going to go ahead and use the chopper gunner for this since I have absolutely no ammo at all. And of course we got to wait for our teammates up here. Alright, once we have our team up here, the zombie did die out. We're just going to go ahead and plant this down. And same process as before, we have to defend it for 1 minute. So I'm going to go ahead and use that chopper gunner. Like I said, I had no ammo. You don't have to use the chopper gunner. Honestly, it's kind of a waste to use it this early, but hey, personal preference at the end of the day. Just show you the perspective of somebody who's doing Overwatch. We're just going to defend it for a minute. We will not have the timer. If you want, you can blow up the cars so you don't have to worry about the cars getting in the way later. Chopper gunner doesn't last that long, unfortunately. If you have the jet gun, you can use the jet gun too. It actually is pretty good. You can suck up salvage and ammo and everything with this, so... Now the same process as last time. The portal's going to stabilize. We're going to get a high value target. This time it's a Mega Abomination. You might get the Mangler first, you might get the Mega first. Doesn't really matter. And what you're going to have to do is drag him down and repeat the process. Get him to extremely low health, about 25%. And then bring him down here, have the trap kill him. So, I'm going to just edit out our fight to get him down here, and we'll go from there. Alright, now regardless of how you soften it up, once you soften it up, you buy this trap right here, lure Mr. Mega into it, and we're gonna suck out his soul. Grab his max ammo. Once his soul is sucked out and gone into the canister, get up close to it, go ahead and pick it up, and then once again, your lucky picker-upper person has exactly 1 minute and 30 seconds to make their slow, happy turtle ass go all the way up to the church.
When this is over, we'll need you to come.
Again, that time is fairly forgiving, so you have more than enough time to get a revive or whatnot.
And I have mine.
At which point, we're going to go ahead and throw that ether canister in. And then we are not going to start the final encounter, because we are not ready for it. I highly recommend that you get at least like Pack-a-Punch 2, a 2-plate vest, and at the very least, Jug. So pretty much play out the round till you are comfortable in your defensive status. Dude, we got a legendary reward from a Sam trial with PhD Flopper of all things. Holy crap, I can't believe we actually did that. That could potentially change things in our favor. You can do Sam trials if you want, but Sam trials can sometimes be really not worth it, so just at user's discretion. They're not part of the Easter egg, but you can get good things from it. Money, salvage, self-revive, the quick revive perk, hell yeah. And when Tara got a monkey, awesome. So now all we need to do is just finish any preparations that you want to finish. Ideally, I mean, you could go completely max kit, or you could go in, you know, with nothing but your fists. It's all in how much you feel. Alright, once everybody's ready, it is prayer time inside the church with the Pack-a-Punch. We are going to go into the final fight, and it's going to go nutty! When you're ready, activate the machine. You'll have to get your team to accept, and then the final encounter begins. Let's hope that we're ready. I only have Pack 2. I do have 2 monkeys, though.
And the SDG will unleash a neutralizing energy wave. And then...
Alright, I got a sentry up and running. Let's not get stuck on everything. I'm gonna... Oh, there's already a Casimir in place. That works, that works. I was gonna say I was gonna toss a monkey. I'm gonna monkey it up once that sent... There we go, monkey out. The sentry gun is just rain in hell. I like it. I likes it a lot. I would probably recommend Pack 3, but we're in here a little earlier than maybe what we should be. We got a max armor. I like it. I like it. We got double sentry guns ripping into them. I have 1 monkey. Oh, insta-kill. Now that's what I'm talking about. Come here, zombies. Rock coming in clutch with that insta-kill gumball.
I packed the open casket if I were you.
That only applies if you have said gumballs, though. Come on. Hold them off. My sentry gun already wiped out 100 zombies. Good boy, sentry gun. Do your job. Unfortunately, the sentry guns are down. They don't last as long as I really would like them to.
Subjects out.
We gotta kill everything. Use an ability.
Your blood boiling now, fuckers?
And that's not the crazy part yet. It wouldn't be an understatement to say, bring in pack 3. You can pack, yes, this is true. I'm gonna pack the jet gun, because, you know, why not? I almost forgot for a second that I even had it.
I'm gonna smell like blood for days.
I got one monkey left. We got named guy number 2. I'm gonna monkey it up. That's my last monkey. There is an ammo crate and obviously the pack-a-punch that can be insanely helpful. Oh yeah, I mean the mutant injector is definitely another option. Probably a better option than the sentry gun, but I did not have enough to craft a mutant injector, so I went with the next best thing, a yield sentry. If the sentry lasted longer, it would be even better. You can use the jet gun to kind of just ignite all the enemies with the alternate fire method. Oh, I'm stuck. Ooh, yeah. Running into each other's trains in this room is definitely something.
The end is nigh.
Oh, that's enough to scare anyone. There you go. There's your sexy achievement.
Any station
Help the lost scientist complete his mission. Enjoy your sexy rewards.
No interruptions for this next part. Thank you, my friends, for volunteering to take my place here. Or, in your parlance, thank you for being voluntold. Now, if you will excuse me, I have a few scores to settle. Bye-bye, Dark Aether.
And then I recommend continue playing because we want the extra rewards. There we go. Bonus points, salvage, all sorts of stuff thrown on the ground. Free legendary weapons if you know, want to use some legendary weapons. All sorts of crazy stuff. So Is it worth doing this? Honestly, hard to say. But I mean, free guns? Hell yeah.
Weapon.
If you want to continue playing, there's definitely stuff that you can use there. Entirely up to you. We're gonna end up exfilling on our next available exfil just so that we have, you know, all of our rewards, which I'll show you what they are once we get done. But that was the achievement guide portion for the nice little Bye Dark Aether achievement. Which, if you did not get the pop-up, I always recommend going into the official club to take a look and make sure that you actually have it unlocked. So just to showcase it, what we got here, this is the regular Liberty Falls quest complete that you can get at any point. This is the Liberty Falls quest complete if you do it early. A little bit different coloring, and it has the gold skull on it, so everybody knows that you did it before the guide came out. So you got that, which was pretty cool. And if I go to missions, I can show you that right there. Now, instead of classified, we have the blue ray gun PJSRU weapon skin or blueprint. We got 5,000 XP. So if you had a double XP token, that would be the time to use it probably. And then we got the Liberty Falls Quest Complete Standard and Liberty Falls Quest Complete Standard Early. We got all of that unlocked for doing that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Do me a huge favor, smash those like and subscribe buttons for new content. Maybe consider leaving a comment on the video and sharing it with your friends, as that helps the channel grow. And go ahead and say hi to Tara over on his channel. Remember, link in the description. Till next time, stay frosty.